Dowdon shall be perfect.
Hey Nuka Knights, how about one for the road? These are the Group C Tiebreakers, starring Calm, JangBi, and Baby. We're starting it off with Calm versus JangBi on New Bloody Ridge. Accept. Down at the 8 o'clock position in purple is Calm. That means up at the 2 o'clock position in orange is JangBi. Now, let me explain the format a little bit to the people who are unfamiliar with the OSL's tiebreaker format and haven't watched any of these. I've cast quite a few of them by now, so I'm fairly familiar. In fact, one of my favorite videos I've ever put up on my channel was my 5-minute recap of the 13-game tiebreaker from the Korean Air OSL. Effort versus Shine versus GoGo. Oh, that was a barrel of monkeys, wasn't it? And I didn't feel like casting 7 hours worth of games, so I put up a 5-minute recap. And yeah, that's probably one of my favorite videos I've ever made. But anyway, yeah, as you can probably tell from the 13 games I just mentioned, OSL tiebreakers have the ability to go infinitely, because it's all about winning 2 games within a set of 3. For example, if Calm wins against JangBi, he goes on to face Baby. And if he wins against Baby, he'll have his 2 wins, and he's moving out into the round of 8 to take that coveted 8th spot. All the other 7 spots are taken now. These guys fighting for the last one. But say if Calm beats JangBi here, goes on to face Baby and loses to Baby, and then Baby goes on and gateway first from JangBi. Let's see if he puts down the second gate or not. Oh, this could be bad times. This is what Movie tried to do on this map recently in the Pro League against Hoja, I think? Yeah, Hoja. Of course, we'll have to see what JangBi's strategy is. This could just be gateway first into a Forge Fast Expand, which is probably the most viable way to do a gateway first build. Yeah, for a Protoss, going for gateway first is very risky because you just can't deal with Zergling run-bys or anything like that. That's really what Doom Movie and his game against Hoja. He let Zerglings through, and that was it. And the big advantage for a gateway first build against any race, really, well, against Zerg, we're talking about PvZ, going for gateway first is your ability to tech rapidly tech up. So hopefully JangBi takes that to heart, which I don't think Movie really did. Movie, he got his cybernetics core at about the same time that he would normally with a Forge Fast Expand, so I just don't think it was worth it, especially considering he let Zerglings through. And yeah, we have to keep an eye on JangBi's base, but what was I talking about? Oh yes, the examples of if Calm wins this, goes on to face Baby, loses to Baby, and Baby moves on. Yeah, Forge coming up at the front, so this is going to transition into a Forge Fast Expand, sort of. The Gateway Fast Expand with a Forge in there for the hell of it, and a couple of Zealots moving out. Yeah, but getting back to my thought for the 3rd time, if Calm wins, moves on, loses, and then Baby loses to JangBi, everything is reset, and we'll have to move on to another set of 3 games. None of the wins will carry over into the next one. It's all about winning 2 in a set of 3. So doing that in a row usually is the way you gotta do it. Actually, it's the only way you can do it. Alright, here's JangBi. He's putting up his Nexus right after the Forge and putting down his Cybernetics core. He's doing things a little bit differently than Movie did. I think Movie put down his cannon first, after his base, and then eventually went into Cybernetics core. So this actually will be a faster Cybernetics core than a Protoss would have normally. Not by much, but every little bit counts against a Zerg. And being able to tech as quickly as you possibly can, get out more Corsairs, save more Corsairs. Yeah, but there's the first cannon for JangBi at the front, and his second base is going to be done soon. A very interesting build from JangBi. It almost seems like he's been discussing with Movie or some other Protoss players trying to refine this type of gateway first thing that Protoss players are trying to do. But another hatchery coming down for Calm after taking his third base, and he's not mining any gas. So I think that Calm scouted this. Has he scouted this with his Overlord? I'm pretty sure he has scouted the front with his Overlord and has decided to utilize a 4-hatch Hydra build to fight against it. Or probably mostly for defensive purposes, because if he tries to push the front early on, I think that JangBi will be prepared for this, because JangBi is going to have more Zealots out than he would normally. That's another big advantage of going Gateway first, is you get to pump more Zealots, you're just going to have more out in the field. JangBi is already pushing with 4, so Calm is going to have to devote some minerals to pumping Zerglings, otherwise he's just going to die here because he doesn't have any static defense, and yeah, this really, going Gateway first really screws up a Zerg's timings, and that's another big advantage from it. I think but JangBi's moving up this choke, he's going straight for the new base. Oh man, so Calm has got to get over here, you got to focus in on the injured Zealots before they take down too many drones. The drones being forced to move out of there. And now Calm is going to try to pump enough Zerglings to eventually get rid of these Zealots. But JangBi is getting an awful lot of harassment done just by forcing the drones to pull off the minerals for a while. That was enough to make this early push worth it, I think. Not to mention he still has one Zealot alive sneaking around trying to take down a drone or two. Takes down a drone! Oh, JangBi. And there's JangBi's early Corsair. The Corsair is going to move out. And since Calm has decided to go for, yeah, look at this tech, checking up very rapidly. And since Calm has decided to go for Hydras to defend against everything, yeah, he is going to have to be on the defense. If he pushes the front, his Overlords are just going to die because he has nothing to protect the Overlords at all except for Hydras. So if he wants to push the front with his 4-hatch Hydra build, he's got to keep a few at home to protect the Overlords. JangBi's Corsair presence is going to be pretty massive soon. I saw the lair coming up, actually, for Calm on the other side, so Calm, I think, is a little bit confused on how to handle this build as well, since it is going to be throwing off all of his timings. He does have Hydras out now, though, so let's see if he does push the front with these Hydras. JangBi, I think, was prepared because he was building an extra cannon. I saw 3 cannons from him at the front, I think. Got to take a look at that again. So 3 or 4. But, okay, let's see what Calm is up to. Just pumping more Overlords right now. Trying to keep them around the Hydralisk at all times. And this is another big reason why why Calm needed a defensive unit on the ground is faster Dark Templar moving out. So he needs some way to snipe those. With Zerglings alone, probably won't be able to get that done. And defend against the Corsairs at the same time. Here comes the first Dark Templar, some additional gateways for JangBi, 3 more additional gateways for JangBi, so he's getting a lot of gateways out as he's going to try to expand again, I think. Another Overlord being sniped by the 3 Corsairs that are out. Dark Templar trying to sneak by unsuccessfully. Calm is prepared with both Hydralisks and Zerglings to defend against any DTs trying to sneak in. There's JangBi trying to go Overlord hunting because he knows he doesn't really have to deal with Scourge yet. The Spire is coming up now for Calm. He knows he was going to need it eventually. And DT being used for defense, which is a little ridiculous, at the 3rd base coming up for JangBi. So JangBi is expanding to his 3rd, and while Calm has his 3rd very comfortably mining, not much harassment yet from JangBi as far as taking down drones. He took down 1 drone earlier. But Calm forcing the Corsairs away again. Calm is starting to amass Hydras. Quite a bit of amassment. That's not a word. Massing. So yeah, 3 cannons at the front for JangBi. And he already has High Templars, so he should be okay at his natural. And this is just a very bizarre game right now. Evolution Chamber and the Spire coming up at the same time. 2 Evolution Chambers, so Calm is going to focus on his Hydra army. Going to focus on those Hydras. Queen's Nest morphing into the Hive already. Man, very bizarre game. So, but JangBi is going to have his 3rd up. I don't think that Calm's going to be able to do much about it. And JangBi even moving in with a couple of High Templar to that new base, just to make sure he can storm on top of the choke should that be attacked or harassed. He's still pumping Corsairs, I see, and then finally some Scourge out for Calm, so the Corsairs are not going to be that big of a threat. Now we can start playing on the defensive with his upgrades going inside of his main, so he is probably going to play much more offensively as he pushes the front against JangBi. I mean, because JangBi trying to do a little bit of Scourge dodging. One of his Corsairs goes down, but he still has about 4 in that clump, I think. Third base up, comfortably mining for JangBi, and he is out looking for the 4th base now. JangBi actually has a DT out hunting for another base, which is very interesting. But here come the lurkers now for Calm. He does have those lurkers, and I don't think that JangBi has his observatory, so this will actually be fairly difficult for him to defend against. He storms on top of the lurker, takes down one of the lurkers with storms, but it looks like he doesn't want to waste too many storms. Yeah, he wants those High Templar on the top of his 3rd base ridge to have, 2 Defiler Mounds from Calm. God, this is such a weird game, but he is going for 2 Defiler Mounds to get Plague and Dark Swarm, and, well, Plague and Consume, sorry, at the same time. So he'll be able to Plague and Dark Swarm out there. Wow, it's very strange. There's the Observatory coming up now for JangBi. Yeah, spooked by Scourge. Looks like he's flying away with Scourge. A lot of extra hatcheries coming up for Calm, so it looks like he is going to go for an extremely strong ground army. He hasn't even committed to his 4th base yet, so this is going to be a massive mid-game army from Calm. But still, he hasn't been aggressive yet. He hasn't pushed the front yet. He's grouping up troops. And he's been saving all of his minerals for the hatcheries, I think, just building so many hatcheries. Yeah, he is going to have 7 hatcheries to pump ground units with soon, so that is going to be a massive help for Calm and finally taking advantage of the Zerg aggressiveness, which he hasn't been able to do yet. He's pushing the front with these lurkers. Now the lurkers being killed by the Dark Templar that was out. Dark Templar sneaks in. JangBi building a lot of additional gateways, so he is going to have a very strong army on the ground. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty big battle, actually. I don't know who's going to have more, since they're both devoted so much to the ground army. Yeah, this is going to be insane once the players actually attack each other. Okay, the Scourge coming in, trying to find the Corsairs unsuccessfully. JangBi is doing a good job skirting away from the giant clouds of Scourge that are out in the map. Alright, Calm starting to mass up now. Now he's using his larvae for units instead of drones. Yeah, obviously you have to use a lot of drones to build all those different hatcheries and whatnot, Spore Colony inside the main, just to make sure he can fight off the Corsairs somehow while he's moving out and pressuring JangBi's front. Alright, the Scourge trying to get lucky, find those Corsairs yet again. Haven't been able to do so yet. High Templar is still on the high ground, and now JangBi is breaking out of his blockade by killing the pylon at the front. Man, it's a lot of gateways too, so yeah, I think this is the build a lot of gateways and hope for the best build, which is one of my favorite builds. It's something I just made up completely, but yeah, this is going to be a hell of a lot of gateways pumping. Non-stop Zealots, probably. The Zealots, just the spine of the Protoss army when it comes to versus Zerg. You gotta have your Zealots out, not only to take the hits, but to get rid of those freaking Zerglings. The Zerglings can surround Dragoons pretty easily, take them out within seconds, so yeah, you need those Zealots at the front to take most of the hits, dish out most of the punishment against those pesky Zerglings. 4th base trying to come up now for JangBi, and now I think Calm is going to attack since he knows that JangBi is comfortable in taking a 4th. He's got to get in there, cause a little bit more discomfort, and make him not do that. Yeah, it was great diction there. But here comes JangBi. We're going to see a huge battle here. JangBi has the high ground. He's coming down here. Storm over everything. That's a pretty massive storm from JangBi. He has a lot of High Templar in, so yeah, it's lucky for Calm that his upgrades finally came in. Got the Plague, a couple of Plagues on most of the Dragoons, so those are going to pop like water balloons once the Lurkers come into this. If he can get a nice surround with Lurkers, those Dragoons are not going to last too long. Some nice storms, though, from JangBi, storming the entire map, just blanketing the map with storms. So making short work of those Zerglings. Not too many Zerglings left, actually, for Calm after those massive storms. So, yeah, he's going to have to just pump nothing but Zerglings from his other hatcheries, which it seems that he's doing. Yeah, he's pushing forward with the Zerglings to get the surround with the Dark Swarm. Obviously, the Dragoons are going to be hurting under this Dark Swarm before the reinforcement Zealots arrive. Not too many Zealots left, but JangBi does have some reinforcements on the way, so he's just got to hold out long enough for the reinforcements to come in. Not to mention the High Templar that is still accompanying the Zealots over here. Comes some more High Templar with the Storm. Storm's over here, even more Storm from JangBi. JangBi Storms, gotta love him. But JangBi is going to push the natural to the best of his ability. Calm has done a good job defending, giving credit where credit is due. But yeah, he's really got to start expanding, and he can't do that with JangBi knocking on his front door like this. So now he's just got to go a lot more lurkers, I think, to be defensive and start establishing his fourth base. But here comes JangBi with even more reinforcements. He brought his Corsairs into play as well with the Scourge over here being chased away by that huge cloud of Scourge. And now JangBi is taking that 12 o'clock position. The drone trying to go up to the 10 o'clock, being shut down immediately by JangBi's DT that has been camping up there for minutes and minutes throughout the duration of this game, but is finally taken down. Here comes JangBi yet again, pushing the front, doing awesome storms as usual. Oh, these big clumps of Zerglings that are pushing forward. But yeah, JangBi just storming over everything. I don't know where he gets all of his storms sometimes. He just has so many storms in the tank. Still pushing forward with storms. Oh, it's not looking good for Calm. It's really not looking good for him. Yeah, a very interesting build from JangBi, I gotta say. It looks like it's working out fantastically. Get that Protoss power going in the mid-game. And yeah, look at this. Storming over all the drones. That's it. GG. From Calm, JangBi takes it. And yeah, I'd say Calm was probably JangBi's biggest obstacle. He's already dismantled Baby. He's shown that he can do that. So he's just got to follow through. We're moving on to JangBi versus Baby for the second set.